Hello, Ghost Hunters! Deadly Broadcast was recently released. Is it a hit or is it a miss? Stick around and I'll let you know. This game is terrible. Save your money and skip it. Thanks for watching! All kidding aside, I really struggled to find something about this game that was worth telling all of you about. It was recommended to me, so of course I gave it a try when it came out. But before you think I'm being a bit harsh here, let me say that I bought the game the day it was released on Steam and then waited for an update before I put together this review. And I did that because my initial impression of this game was so poor that I wanted to give the developers a chance to correct some things and make the game better, in hopes that I see some light at the end of the proverbial tunnel. But alas, this did not happen. Not only did the promised update not come out on time, but it didn't make the game better. Let me explain. Deadly Broadcast is supposed to be a horror game where a live streamer visits a scary location, which they then investigate but quickly find themselves in this weird reality, all while streaming. I'm not sure what the point of the streaming is, as I personally found it obnoxious and annoying, and it detracts from the gameplay. Most of this game is running around in circles, just trying to find a door that will open in what appears to be the only map, the hospital. While I will admit that the update that finally came did make it easier to spot items players can interact with or pick up, this doesn't really help with the constant trying of doors and running in circles. This game lacks direction and more than one way. Knowing how to progress in the game is a challenge all on its own, and I can't imagine many players will find fighting these creatures all that fun. When slashing or hitting at a monster, there's no real indication that contact has been made. And at other times, slashing nonstop at a monster in front of you doesn't appear to ever make contact. Meanwhile, you're taking damage. From what I gather from feedback from other players, we're supposed to find ways into these rooms with these hearts and then apparently destroy them. It did appear that in the update, they try to add more jumpscare type events, but these don't really hit the mark. I'm not trying to shred this game here, but let me just say that some of these early release games would do themselves a lot of favors by waiting to release until their game has some actual content and that the bugs that are plaguing them for the most part are fixed. For example, I could not play this game in full screen because the developers do not know how to adjust their menus for screens that are larger than, well, just about this. I play it on an ultra widescreen, meaning my resolution is 5120 by 1440. It's huge. I realize that sometimes developers just don't anticipate players having screens this large. However, when I find a game that keeps this heads-up display centered as if I were playing on a more common resolution, I certainly appreciate the developer's attention to detail. Most of the games I regularly cover on this channel do just that, and those that don't provide full support for those bigger resolutions. This game, however, requires that I play in a window, and if I change any settings and then press apply, then I have to start all over again and adjust everything just so I can see the full menu. Even accessing menus when doing this is sometimes difficult. Developers also released this game without proper inverted y-axis, which if you've watched any of my other reviews, then you know it's a big pet peeve of mine. If you can't figure out inverted y-axis, maybe game development isn't your thing. Just saying. Okay, so maybe the developers just released this game too early. Well, I went to their Discord to see when updates are coming out and some of the bugs sorted out, and I was met with this: tumbleweeds and crickets all around. For a new release game, this doesn't bode well. Even asking in the Discord about updates and fixes took days for responses, if they ever even came. I do give the developers props for realizing a bit of greed shining through when their available character pool came with price tags. In the update, that was removed so that all characters were playable. But does this mean that the game is a cash grab? I can't say for sure, but I will say the lack of content and the push for release with purchasable characters, it feels like it. I'm not saying that it is for certain a cash grab, but I would say that buyers should beware. In other words, do not buy this game anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And remember, gaming should be fun.